Yeah, so to come up with points for this argument was a bit challenging, but I eventually got to get the points. And for writing the actual essay, I went with giving my views. So I took two from the for side and one from the against side. Whether rich or poor, the greatest health one could possess is health. Maintaining that wealth may at times come at tremendous costs, which could be relieved if doctors whose training is paid for by the government give back to their community by providing free medical services. 2 points to note are that it would increase the overall health of persons in the community and it would be of assistance to persons who cannot afford healthcare. However, providing healthcare for free comes at a cost to the provider.
I find it's great. I like the introduction. I like the first point. I like how he uses the play of words, wealth and health, and yeah, I like how he has the however. It's a pretty good introduction, nice and
Yeah,
concise.
the hook is really hooking. I like the hook. It ties into the actual topic, well, whatever he's going towards to. And I like the rhyming. I don't know, I know that's probably not a thing, but it's, when he said the greatest wealth one could possess is health, it flowed well. It was like catchy, a catchy hook.
I think it's very concise, sir. Very short and concise, but it has all the 2 points that he wants to support and the one point that's against. So I think it's a very good introduction and it has a good concluding sentence. And the hook is very nice.
All right,
Yeah.
so 1 point, Adam, one
Mhm.
point, it would increase the overall health of persons in community. That is if they give back to their persons. And two, it would be of assistance to persons who cannot afford health care. Um, both both
Too close.
points, yes, they they,
Yeah,
they,
yeah.
they, they, they
A bit
seem
close.
as if they're basically saying the same thing in different words. For me, what is the difference between increasing health care, the health, how will that increase the health of persons in the community? I can understand how it will help them to afford, because if they're having like a free clinic, then the persons can come and get services and so forth. So of course that would help to increase the overall health, because then persons who could not afford will now be able to go there and get the medical assistance that they need. So this point is, the first one would be the one in red would be the point, and then the result would be the one in blue.
Mhm.
So I think that we need another point, because for me this is 1 point.
Yeah, miss. I
Yeah.
understand how
All
you're
right.
trying to put it. Makes sense.
Mhm. So yeah, since these 2 points are too close, I think a different point would be good, and the blue here could just be a result of the red. Like you can show a cause and effect. Since educate healthcare is going to be more affordable, then generally health is going to increase, right, naturally. All right, let's see how you express your points. Take us through your first body paragraph.
Firstly, free health services provided by doctors who got free training, compliments of the government, would assist persons who cannot afford healthcare services. Around 30% of individuals worldwide are suffering simply because they cannot afford healthcare services, was a recent headline news on the BBC. Jack, someone interviewed by a Caribbean Waves correspondent, related that only if doctors would provide free healthcare to those in their community, we would be far healthier as we simply can't afford healthcare.
Firstly, free health services provided by doctors who got free training. Got is a little bit. What about received? Right. Um, Compliments of the government. Okay, would assist persons who cannot afford health services. And you have a nice little quote: around 36% of individuals worldwide are suffering simply because they can't afford healthcare services was a recent headline. It's a long headline um, on the BBC. All right. Jack, okay, getting into an anecdote now. Jack, someone interviewed by a Caribbean Waves correspondent, related that, blah, blah, blah. So we have two pieces of evidence here, right? We have a quotation here, and we see who interviewed him. Nice. And we have another quotation here, which gives us statistics. So in terms of evidence, I think this is fine. All right.
I'm in
Anything?
agreement. I think the introduction of the two quotations here um, is is appropriate. First, he tells you that free health services provided by doctors um, would assist persons who cannot afford healthcare services. And then he gives the evidence based on the news report. And then no, somebody who actually maybe is a patient or was a patient um, or a doctor is giving a personal experience. So one is the statistics and two a personal opinion. So I think that is okay for me.
We're moving with great speed. Take us through the next paragraph here.
As a result, providing free health service in the community would be of significant benefit to the residents. Evidently, a study done by the Pan American Health Organization (PAHO) produced statistics which suggest that communities that have doctors providing health services free of cost have a notable 40% of healthier individuals in the population than those that do not. A healthier community means a progressive future.
Hmm. Clear, concise, evidence.
Like the
It's
comparison there. I like the comparison between the community which provide free healthcare versus the community which does not. I
mhm.
like that. I would have wanted you as them to expand a little bit more on the benefit. You say that there will be a significant benefit to the residents. What kind of benefits are you talking about? Um, say I would think that, say for instance, you are in one area, one community, and there is a clinic or a doctor's office that is there for persons who live in that community. If there is not such a facility, then they would have to travel. So you're talking about maybe costing in terms of transportation, in terms of access to medication, those kind of things. So I would have been expecting you to expand a little bit more on the benefits to residents. And one of the major benefits to residents now will be that transportation. They don't have to go far. They don't have to come out of their community to get access.
On the contrary, providing free healthcare in the community comes at a cost that falls upon the doctor who needs to provide the necessary resources to carry out the services. Often, free services are called upon, but no one speaks about the cost. Cost is always an issue. Everything comes at a cost, was a famous line by the late Ralph Alexander, a prestigious playwright. Medication costs are often high in the Caribbean, and as such may deter doctors from providing free services.
Yeah, this link between the medication cost and the healthcare cost. Here, I think the essay makes an assumption that might not be true. It might be true, but it might not be true.
Right. Usually, what will happen is that the doctor will provide free healthcare, meaning that they will treat the patient without charge,
Hmm.
but they would have to have an established clinic or medical facility, and they just treat the patient. The medication is on the onus of the patient. But remember, your prompt is not saying that the government must provide free health care. It is saying that the doctors must provide um, return services for free. So your understanding of free healthcare needs to be concretized to know that it does not mean that they have to have they are responsible for paying the electricity and the water and getting the equipment and all of those. What it means is that they offer the services without charging. So you now go to your doctor's office, you take out your health card and whatever cash that you need to pay, and you pay it. But free healthcare on the doctor's perspective is that they will come to that community where there is somewhere set up for them to offer their services, and they don't take a cent. When they write their prescription, it is you now to go to the pharmacy and buy your prescription. So the medication is on your end, it's your responsibility. So we're not saying that the government made an offer to give you medication and all of that. So that you have to get that clear. All right. So on the contrary, providing free health care in the community comes at a cost that falls upon the doctor who needs to provide the necessary resources. So I don't think that second part of the sentence, it is supporting your argument. So, on the contrary, providing free healthcare in the community comes at a cost. Full stop. That's where I would stop it. Often, free services are called upon, but no one speaks about the cost. Cost is always an issue. Everything comes at a cost. I would probably ask a rhetorical question: how viable is it for a doctor to really offer free health care? That's what I would do.
What I would do, Anslim, is I wouldn't scrap the cost idea and everything having a cost. And I would just as you're doing now focus on the toll it's going to take on the doctor, because we've been looking at, oh, the community will benefit, but what about the doctor? I would look at the opportunity cost for the doctor. If I have to spend 5 hours providing free healthcare, that's 5 fewer hours I can work and earn money as a doctor, right? I have my student loans to pay back. I have this, I have that. I'm already stressed working too many hours, and now I have to add free healthcare to this. No. So you can look at how unfair it is now for doctors to, they have trained for so long, they have this expertise, and we want them to just give away their services. I would focus on that kind of opportunity cost for the doctor, instead of saying, okay, but the doctor will have to buy medicine, because the medicinal cost is different. The pharmaceutical cost is different from the medical care cost. So you can look at how the doctor would be negatively impacted, but it wouldn't be from buying the medicine. It would more be, for example, from having less time, or having, being forced to work for free when they need to work for money. So those are some costs that would make more sense than saying, you know, the doctors have to buy the medicine. Make sense, Anslim?
Yes, sir. Yeah, makes sense because the healthcare is like just providing this consultation about if you have a
Mm,
pain here, pain there. It's not about providing the medication to ease the pain. It's just about
right,
figuring out what is needed, and you now have to find the medication.
right. So
Yeah.
the free medicine would be like a different issue. We're not even touching on that. We're dealing with the free healthcare. Yeah. So I think that's just a lapse in understanding the system, basically, which kind of compromised this point here. Because I like the idea that it's going to come at a cost for the doctors, but it's just the wrong cost that you focused on. Yeah. All right. Take us through the conclusion, and we can call it a day, a night.
In conclusion, my focus was on creating a clear picture of some things to consider when thinking about free healthcare services for the community. While free healthcare services offer significant benefits to the community, it's vital to acknowledge the high costs for providers. I encourage you to prioritize community health and consider supporting healthcare professionals that provide free services to help lower costs.
I like this conclusion, even though the points could have been changed. How you conclude works, right? Just a few nitpicks. Contractions are not so good in academic writing, so the it's the IT apostrophe S, I would just say it is.
I think that what he's saying at the end is good. It's a good recommendation in a conclusion based on what has been going on to say that prioritize community health care. All right.
Hmm.
Consider reducing costs to not just the providers but the beneficiaries. That's a good point.
Yeah, in general, you express the points clearly, but the points themselves probably needed to be changed. So some of the points needed to be changed a little bit. But how you express the points, it shows a good level of writing in general.